Is TU Munich worth the hype it has?
TUM is hyped because it has so many.
I beg to differ because
It's a path like this.
But you won't get a tag of TUM.
तो यार वीडियो स्टार्ट होने से पहले मैं आपको बता दूं मैं आ रहा हूं इंडिया और मैंने कई जगहों पे मैंने मीटअप रखा हुआ है। तो मैं आपको पहले शहर और तारीख बता देता हूं। मैं आ रहा हूं कोची 3rd of February, कोलकाता 4th of February, दिल्ली 6th of February, चंडीगढ़ 7th of February, मुंबई 8th of February, पुणे 9th of February एंड बेंगलुरु 10th of February। तो इन सारे जगहों पे मैंने मीटअप रखा हुआ है। हम एक प्रेजेंटेशन करेंगे। अगर आपको वेन्यू क्या है, टाइम क्या है, ये सब जानना है तो ये QR कोड को स्कैन करो, एक रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म भरोगे आप और फिर उसके बाद आपको एक व्हाट्सएप का लिंक मिलेगा। उस व्हाट्सएप के लिंक में हम आपको वेन्यू और टाइम बताएंगे। सो क्या होने वाला है जब आप वेन्यू पे आओगे, तो बेसिकली मैं एक प्रेजेंटेशन दूंगा और इन पर्सन आपके क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूंगा जितना हो सके मेरे से। ऑल ऑफ दिस इज डन इन कोलैबोरेशन विद वन ऑफ द बेस्ट ब्लॉक्ड अकाउंट प्रोवाइडर्स विच इज एक्सपैट्रियो। सो अगर आपको कोई क्वेरी आ रही है, रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं हो पा रहा है, जो भी है, इंस्टाग्राम पे जो एक्सपैट्रियो का अकाउंट है उन पे जाके डीएम करो। इन केस अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम, वैसे तो नहीं आनी चाहिए, बट इन केस अगर आ रही है तो लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो।
भाई, I belong to a poor family. I thought to take a loan by bank. क्या repay कर पाऊंगा पैसा पार्ट टाइम जॉब से?
I'll say only TUM or specific universities are introducing the fees right now. As you said, like if you don't consider as a TUM question, I think you still have other HOFs. You have still TU like technical universities and schools where you can still get the free education and you only have your living expenses that for sure you can cover with the work student jobs or the odd jobs that you can do. As a perspective of TUM, for sure it won't be possible if you wish to repay the loan because you will have your tuition fees and then your living expenses. That won't be possible to cover them together, but in other universities for sure. Another point to add to that. So I was just scrolling through Facebook like a few days ago and I just read this post wherein one person had asked that he had taken a loan of 27 lakh rupees from some bank in India. He was done with his masters and then he was of the he'd asked a question whether he could transfer some money to India XYZ. And he basically what he said was as per his estimations, it will take at least 5 years after your masters with a full-time job to be able to repay the entirety of the loan. Yeah. Okay.
Just not TU Munich specific, but if you end up choosing a university which is in a smaller town, your living expenses would be less. You would save a huge amount of money on the rent. So if doing your masters and repaying the loan at the same time through a work student position is the goal, then I suggest that you look for a university in a smaller town. But again, good TU.
Just to conclude this topic, अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन है, I would say कि just go to the core. One, get your German up आने से पहले एंड स्किलफुली अपने आप को स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो। आप बड़े शहर में रहो, छोटे शहर में रहो, अपॉर्चुनिटी तभी मिलेगी जब आपके पास ये दोनों चीजें होंगी। ठीक है, दिस इज अ गुड क्वेश्चन। इज TU Munich worth the hype it has? Do you guys think?
For me, yes, because the people you meet here, the opportunities you find, or you interact with the people, they are like fabulous. Because this is my personal experience. I met those people who are like extraordinary. I'm not saying like we don't have these people in India, but the research area, the type of people, the cultural community, and everything, it's vast. You have a good chance to meet multiple people from the multiple domain. Also, the name is good, so you can use that to achieve or like to secure some good stuff. I personally have those and acquired those things, so yeah, I think thanks to that.
It's totally worth the hype because TUM looks after its students very promptly. Recently, I had a friend who had to go through some serious time, and TUM provides students with the therapies as well.
Just to add to it, TUM is hyped because it has so many things to offer, but at the same time, it is up to you to make the most of it.
Right. It's for sure worth the hype, but I'll say it depends on how much you are able to retrieve the opportunities that you get. The thing is, there are so many speakers that like come Siemens CFO, for example, that I met directly that came to give a speech in university. There are various fairs. There are ICOM sessions where you get to meet the industries directly at university. You get good connections from your professors, your assistant professors who are doing the research somewhere. So you have to go through them, go with them, you have to apply, you have to ask them questions. If they like get to know you are also interested in these fields, for sure they'll also help you to get through it. And all these things considering, for sure, it depends on you that you have to grab those opportunities and try to maximize what you can get, because the thing is these are the things you will miss when you are not at TUM, because for sure the education wise you can get maybe better quality somewhere else as well, but the people or the networking that you get for sure is superior than you think. Thank you.
So I'd like to give you an interesting example on why TUM is worth the hype. Example number one, this is a course named Energy Markets, which is offered by Department of Management. Yeah, exactly. So the CEO of the government company Stadtwerke München, SWM, he delivers the lecture. So imagine the kind of insights that you'll gain, and imagine the opportunities that you could have by interacting with him. Secondly, I have a few friends from aerospace, and they say that there's a course offered which is named Orbital Mechanics. There's an astronaut who offers the course. So then again, imagine the quality of people who are delivering lectures. I mean, yeah, TUM is absolutely worth the hype.
So अभी ये जो अभी तुम लोग ने बात बोली, would this be true still if you had to pay fees 24 लाख रुपए, which is 6 lakh per semester? Would this change?
See, the facts won't change. The professor will remain the same. The professors will remain the same. The opportunities will remain the same. Since we're paying tuition fees, I'm sure there's some part of it will be going to the funding also of research projects. So probably the research projects will be expedited, and then given that research project, if they take a pace, then they would obviously require many more students, and many more opportunities basically would pop up. So I think even if tuition fees are introduced, the opportunities would not subdue. They will keep increasing.
This is just a general point, but I think the psychology changes drastically, because if you are paying for something, you try to get maximum benefit out of it.
Just adding to it, when you look at it from a financial perspective, it still makes sense to get into TUM, because TUM has an alumni network which gives you lifelong support. So, and when we are talking about the networking opportunities and let's say the hype of TUM, it stays with you throughout your life. So maybe we can look at the tuition fees as an investment and not an expense.
But if you guys had to pay, you would still pay it.
For me, like, I beg to differ, because considering when you see if you have more than one opportunity, then you think once or twice more. So I had admit from 3 other universities, so I would have gone to other universities and not TUM.
So you would not have paid money.
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys would have.
I'd say, okay, now that I've come to TUM, I've realized there are so many opportunities. But then at the same time, if tuition fees were to be introduced, I would not pay those fees. Instead, I would go where I have gotten an admission, and I would have capitalized on the opportunities that I'm getting there. And then I would have just, if it's not a straight path, it's a path like this. That's it.
But you won't get a tag of TUM anyway. You would climb the ladder
That's true.
of career, but tag नहीं मिलता ना तेरे को. That's the hype we're talking about.
Yes, that's true. But then tag एक चीज रही. Secondly, आप मतलब काम करके कितना उखाड़ते हो. What you bring to the table. That's what matters, I think, more.
Right. I mean, I think we are talking about two things here. एक तो है करियर बनाना, और एक है एक पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ के उस पे एनकैश करना. राइट? That's the main question कि ये हाइप जो है इसका तुम क्या करते हो, ये क्वेश्चन है.
I think for me, what matters more is, हाँ मतलब इंडिया में if you talk about India, I think the brand value of the university matters a lot. But if I sort of give myself a reality check over here in Germany, the brand value is not of that much important. इतना essential नहीं है कि तुम से तो ये बहुत बेहतर होगा, Duisburg से कम होगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's like, yes, TUM also has a brand value over here, but then at the same time, as I said, what you bring to the table, or rather how you capitalize on the opportunities that are being given to you. I'm sure that even other universities would give you a lot of opportunities. It's not only that TUM gives you all worldly opportunities. Right. So it's about how you capitalize and how you upskill yourself, how you upgrade yourself. I think that's what matters the most.
So I'll ask again: is the hype real, or is it?
The hype is real. Yes, the hype is real.
The hype is totally real, and it's totally worth it.
If you're just comparing with universities in the US, I would still suggest that then this would still be cheaper than universities in the US. So that is also something to think about.
Just to end the discussion, I just say that getting into a university is not a pay to win thing, that you just pay some amount to university and you get something out of it. It completely depends how you go through the university, what the opportunities you take at the end. So you have to do things to make sure that even if you are at TUM, you first of all get into TUM, start doing things, and then you have to decide, okay, if it's worth the hype or not.